So the fact is, that the input of the guitar is still messed up, at least to a degree, and I haven't fixed it. All this avant-garde stuff is not really leading anywhere, it seems, and I don't know what to do about it, I probably should just take myself and break myself and lean into some kind of a more acceptable expression, perhaps. Maybe I should learn to play songs that everybody knows, but it's a constant struggle, I want to, the natural tendency is to fly away, to attempt and make and do something that's never been done before. But the thing is that it's I don't know that there are that many. There's always something that's never been done, but I don't exactly know. The wise way to approach it would be going through the things that have already been done and adding new elements. That would be the sensible way, rather than just abandoning all frameworks and attempting to create something out of nothing, right? Yeah, and for the last few weeks, for the last week, at least 2 or 3, I've been attempting to engage more in the world, to do I think this is the issue with posting stuff, and of talking online or whatever. And the issue is that eventually you're likely to get to a point where you start talking about personal stuff. And I think I've made this video already 10 times. But what I can do is I can share my what I've thought about. So one of the things is that if you stop doing something, if you break a habit, you had to build it up again. So I don't really believe in resting. I don't think it makes any sense to do something and take a vacation. Do something and take a vacation. I personally don't believe that. Of course, unless it's something that you can't stand doing, then it obviously makes sense because you just want to get away from it, But my dream, my personal dream, is to find and build a model of existence of life that it's sustainable. That's what I want to do, And this is also part of the reason why I'm such a big The problem is that if you do take a vacation, or if you do allow yourself to be misdirected, at least for a short while, or whatever, you adopt a different mindset, so to speak. You know, there's this old saying that you are what you do, and it's very, very true. But if you, for some reason, stop doing what you do, you become something else. You know. So, for instance, and also consistency is key. You know, it doesn't make much sense to do something and then stop doing it because of some kind of an external pressure. But at the same time, I understand, you know, we all need to eat, we all need shelter, and in an ideal world, in utopian world, which, for instance, a great book that describes Utopia for Idealists by Rutger Bergman. He's a great example of people who are proponents of universal basic income, which is the most. It's a great idea, and we all should have it, regardless. By trying to, you know, but there's this choice, you know, either you're integrated already, and you sort of break away from it to do your own thing, whatever that may be. For me, in this case, it is okay. Let's get to that a bit later. Or you, because you know the problem that I've noticed is that by integrating, but you can also say, okay, people who just have racing thoughts, who are just all over the place already. It's some kind of a schizophrenia. You're just your mind is racing all over, and you have no coherent ideas or whatever. All right, and the other extreme would be that you don't have any ideas, and you're really rigid, but you're functional that way. Also interesting. For me, I internally I feel that I definitely would have to get my meaning out of something that's more likely than not internally generated, being that it's something that I create. It's not always necessarily, it doesn't always necessarily come from some kind of a relation or some kind of a external validation. Although that's important, that's anyways, what am I saying here? Yeah, so this is so ironic. This is incredibly ironic. I wanted to play guitar. I wanted to be a rock star or whatever. And I found out that it's really just a question of your own willingness to do stuff. So rather than looking for alternatives for ways that you can do stuff, it's probably better and easier to actually do this stuff. Just do it. Let's go, make a band. Let's go, or something like that. Rather than, so it's a battle. For me at least. It's also I can't stand talking. Which is, at least I didn't. My primary communication has always been through other mediums. For instance, there was a period when I would just pretty much not talk and just play, just play all the time. That was my primary form of communication. Or whether you understood it or not, well, that's on you. But now I decided some years ago that there's not a human being within me. I need to develop. And human being, it's a cultural animal, clearly. And cultural animals use language. It's that's the basis of culture, as far as I know. So I needed to learn to speak, and now pretty much that's all I'm doing. I'm not doing anything worthwhile. I'm just talking about stuff, which is seems to be the norm. People running around and just coming. Okay, but yeah, The reason why I'm making this is purely out of I need to attempt authenticity, you know, whatever that may be. Because in my situation, I'm not exactly being authentic in being me, or I've managed to seclude myself to a degree, but at the same time I believe that I don't know, I just want to make something out of my time. That's pretty much it, you know. And I can't say that I don't know, I guess it's just reality of being autistic, you know. You're kind of, you have a tendency of just sailing away, you know, from cultural contexts essentially, you know, and then